So you want to know how I make 6 pins at a time? Today I'm sharing the exact prompt that I created. I definitely learned this process from somebody else, but I've made it better for me and my brand, and I thought I would show you what I'm using. And if you want a copy of the prompt, just check out the link below. But hey, it's Heather here, the Money Making Connector, and I'll be diving in right now. So I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. I have everything cut and paste in notes. So I'm going to pull that note over here, I think, and show you the note. I've created a project that's specifically for my Pinterest studio. So I just started a new chat. And if you want information on projects and how to manage your chats in ChatGPT, let me know. I could do a whole video on that. That has been super helpful for me. So I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller for a second and show you the prompt over here. It looks pretty long. So this is the prompt. It's one prompt, 6 pin jobs. I will share the prompt in the show notes. If you like to get a copy of it, I will send it to you. So I'm going to go ahead and okay, so I'm going to actually just read some of the prompts. So it's a 3-part prompt because the first part of the prompt is more like planning. And then the second part is you just approve it if you like what gets returned. So I've copied it and I'm going to go ahead and paste it in here. Um, and I'm going to show you some things that you need to add to this. So we're just going to paste it in here. It tells it right here. So this is not an image. So you want to make sure that you do not click the add image down here for this particular prompt. You do still want to be on high just because it works better when you do that. And this tells it it's a text only Pinterest planning task. So this is, you've done your product research, you've figured out what product you're going to be doing a pin for, or 6 pins, or however many pins that you want to create. But this is a 6 pin job. You could duplicate the job and just tell it not to do the same image more than once. But we're just going to say, for simplicity's sake, this is a 6 pin project. And down at the very bottom, what I've done is I actually copied the information that you want to be pasting in here at the very bottom of the prompt. So then you'll have that created someplace. And I actually already have it. And I'm just going to copy this and change it out. So you just want to be able to provide the prompt, the product name, the product description, the link that you'll be using to promote it, your target audience. So you probably want to have that saved as something that you use all the time. So once you create this prompt, if you're going to use the same target audience all the time, you could just paste that information in there. And same with the brand or visual style. You can keep that so that's standard. You're never going to change that. Any important keywords that you want to make sure are included, any facts or claims to avoid, and anything else that you think is important to creating this pin. So I've actually copied all this, and I'm just going to come over here and just paste in the information that I put. In addition to that, you want to go ahead and attach your images. So I'm going to be doing the Palmer jogger. This is not an Amazon product. This is an affiliate product. Not that it matters because it's still going to have a disclosure. These are the images that I'm giving it, and I'm going to go ahead and let that run. See here, it's saying it's planning concepts. Once it's done, we'll come back and oh, it came back pretty quick, so I didn't even have to pause this. So this is the product analysis. And this is where, you actually need to take some time to read it to make sure that nothing is wrong, overstated, or anything like that. It's still writing it all out. It's going through each pin, planning. It's going to tell me at the very end, planning complete. That is part of the prompt that it's supposed to tell you. So this is kind of like your thinking process right here. So it's telling me it's planning complete. The prompt is now waiting for further instructions. So I have actually ChatGPT will help me with this, and you can train your ChatGPT to do this for you as well, or you actually can copy this and put it into a document so you can read it. So I created a quick little checklist of questions that you could be asking to make sure that the planning document is accurate and the images come out the way that you want. First question is, are all 6 pin concepts genuinely different? Are the product features accurate? Does anything imply personal use or experience that was not provided? This is super important. And the special instructions, this would be where you would tell the prompt that you've used it, what you think of it, because you don't want to say anything that is not necessarily true. Then you want to say, are any claims unsupported? Are the text overlays short enough to read on a phone? You won't really know this, but you might be able to tell in the concept whether it's too long or not. Can each concept realistically be created as one vertical image? Does any concept accidentally ask for a collage, several models, or several versions of the product? And do the ideas fit the audience of your brand? So now you've reviewed the planning document, you've made some notes of things that you want to be changed. It doesn't need to be super formal, but you need to go pin by pin and tell the prompt what to do. So now you move on to prompt number 2, and you have a couple of options from here. What you would do here is then you would copy with revisions. So you would copy this part of the prompt, and then here you would paste the corrections that you would like it to make. It doesn't need to be super fancy. You could just say pin 1, fix this, pin 2, fix that. Don't overstate this, don't overstate that. So really, really easy. Now I could just paste in the approved, but I did look it over and there were some changes that I wanted to make. So I'm just going to paste in my changes and I'm going to read it. So it says revise the 6 planning board plan. Revise the 6-pin planning board. Do not generate any images yet. The reason why I do this is because a lot of times when you're giving ChatGPT too many instructions, they get lost in translation and the fixes aren't necessarily done. So even though it's going to send me the planning copy again, I'm not necessarily going to uh, make any changes to it. So I'm just going to do a couple of changes and fixes to the planning board, and basically like to make it more searchable, I guess I would say, or more chance that someone is going to actually click on the pin. So just a couple of things in here, and then I'm just going to hit enter. I didn't resend the images, but when I do say that it's approved, you do want to resend the images. So after it's still going through that, I am going to get the approval, paste that in here. So now it's saying that it's done, it's waiting for review, and I'm just going to assume that everything is done. I'm going to paste in a reviewed and it is approved. Now create the 6 approved Pinterest images. It does explicitly say that they're individual vertical Pinterest images, but I do say down here one more time, be sure these are 6 unique separate images, because sometimes it does get a little squirrely and it forgets. So then I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, sending the prompt, and it is now thinking. This is where for 6 images, it's probably going to take it, the last time I ran it, it took it 3.5 minutes or so. So we're going to pause this and we're going to come back and I'm going to show you. Um, so I forgot to attach the images. It's telling me to reattach the images. So you want to do Palmer images, open. You do want to say create images. And then I am going to go ahead and say, I'm just going to repaste the approval and let it go. So if you forget to paste the images, it's going to tell you that they can't create the images without the originals. So make sure that you paste the originals in each time. going to go ahead and pause this while we wait and see, let it do its work. So it is wrapping up. It took it 3 minutes and 38 seconds to get all 6 images. Going to make this big just so we can go through and look at each one. So this is image number 1. Again, these are not branded. And when I say branded, I have specific fonts and colors that I would use. So that is number 3, and I'll show you how to do that, how to use this prompt, but then create it and make it yours so it doesn't look the same as everybody else's. We're just looking at each prompt. You notice they're all just a little bit different. Yes, she's technically wearing the same outfit, which is great, actually. And then this is great. Flat lays are great. And then one more. So I really like it. Then all you do is download them all. 6 images, tell it to download. So then the last thing is, and you could have this as part of the actual prompt, but what I have found is it won't do it anyway. So we're going to tell it to now give me the SEO, and I've got that as prompt number 3. You could just type in, now give me the SEO title and description, and that would be great, except we want to make sure that this is formatted to make it super easy for you to cut and paste this into Pinterest or your scheduler. Of course, we have prompt number 3, and basically it's just telling us now provide the final Pinterest SEO for each pin. Use approved planning board and the finished images as your reference. For each pin, I want a Pinterest title. Write the title as one paragraph, no quotation marks. Keep it natural, keyword aware, and easy to copy and paste. And then basically the same thing for the Pinterest description. Add this disclosure at the end of each description. Because this is not an Amazon product, I just have the general affiliate disclosure, but you want to make sure you change that appropriately for wherever your product is for, and then continue the same format through pin 6. Important. Make every title and description easy to copy and paste. Keep the title and description in separate paragraphs. Do not place the title and description inside a table. Do not combine all 6 descriptions in one block. Don't use hashtags unless I specifically ask. Do not keyword stuff. Do not invent product features. Do not imply that I own, tested, or whatever. Match each title and description to the pin that was approved in the planning stage, and keep the descriptions useful and natural rather than overly promotional. So that is what I'm going to do. Hit enter, and then it thinks for just a minute. Doesn't take it very long to return. And then you have everything all set and you are good to go. So that is the one product, 6 pins or 6 jobs for one product. Okay, so you have used the prompt, the 1, 2, 3 prompt, yourself a couple of times, but you want to make it more like you. As promised, this is the bonus section. I'm going to show you the how to customize it just for you. So here it is. The prompts provide the structure. The customization block is what helps the output reflect your audience, your visual style, your voice, and business instead of just looking like everyone else. So this is what you can customize. You can customize your target audience, your age range, brand personality, and tone. This is where using ChatGPT over time is super helpful because it gets to know who you are and how you sound. Text overlay preferences, lifestyle settings, content priorities, topics and keywords, seasonal direction, approved personal experience, your disclosure, preferred calls to action, claims, phrases, or visuals to avoid, and any additional brand instructions. You could cut and paste this right here and then just fill this in and you would have it customized. Here is what you want to do. Well, I'll actually show you an example. I have my own customization made right here. I've copied this and I'm going to show you where to place this inside the original prompt. So going to the original prompt, make this big. So you have the original prompt right here. This is the customize, leave everything as is, but right before the product analysis and after what you tell it you will provide, paste your customization right here. And then down at the end, you still have the product information and the product description and your affiliate link. So I don't need to have this information any longer in the prompt because we've added it, right? So now I just want to Control A, Control C. Back to my Pinterest studio, I'm going to paste in the what I just copied. I'm going to Control V that. I'm going to add my images, which is the Palmer. We're going to redo the Palmer jogger, and we're going to see how different it may or may not look. The only thing I just noticed is that it used this model, and I don't really want the model to be gray haired. So I'm actually going to put this down at the bottom. Any model used should not resemble the model in the pictures, the images I provided. In fact, the over 50 woman should not necessarily be gray haired, but have her look mature. So this is actually where I would add this to my customization, but I didn't catch it in time. So I'm actually going to go ahead and run that. And we're going to let it do its planning stage. This is the planning stage that we did before that we came back pretty quickly. It's planning the board. We're going to assume that it comes back with everything correct. So while it's running, I'm going to go grab my my prompt that everything is good with no changes. As you see right here, and I've copied that, Command C or Control C, and then I'm going to go back here and wait for it. We'll fast forward the video. Here we go. So it took 52 seconds to come back, has the plan. We're just going to scroll down to the bottom because chances are it's filling in as we go. Pin 1. I'm just looking to see how it looks to a realistic woman in her mid to late 50s in a bright airport lounge. She has warm brunette or dark blonde hair and looks mature without resembling the silver-haired model in the reference images. Perfect. So that what I added at the end is perfect. So now I am telling it to, I've approved it. Here are my images again. Remember that you have to put that in again, the images, and then go ahead and hit send. Okay, so it returned all 6. We're going to compare it, and I'm going to do that in just a second. But before I do that, I pasted prompt 3 in here, and we're going to go ahead and run that. And while that's running, I'm going to pull up the other Palmers. Okay, so we now have that all back up. Now I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to click this. We will just compare the 6 images. These are the original unbranded or uncustomized images. And then here are the 6 new ones. I like the images better. There's this one right here with the color bottoms at the bottom that I didn't really like, but everything else I really like. So that is how I create 6 pins at a time for one product or article or whatever it is. Basically 6 pins per URL is the easiest way to describe it. I also use a similar pin to do or similar prompt to do a carousel pin, which is basically kind of like a story pin where it's 5 slides. But I hope that helps you understand the prompt, gives you pretty good instructions on how to use it. The one thing I will say is that you need to give yourself grace as you learn how to do this. It's not all about speed when you create pins. I feel you want to be authentic and create your own personality. Volume is important, but at the same time, creating a voice that people believe and know that there's a person behind that pin, I think makes a big difference. So I hope you found that helpful. Hit that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in for the next video. We're almost at the end of this 90-day intense Pinterest dive in, I guess, so to say. And what's next? Am I going to keep Pinterest going? How am I going to grow my business for Q4? And what's working and what's not? Because I think you shouldn't keep doing things that aren't working if it's not moving the needle forward. But what is the benchmark? What is I think they call it KPIs, that actually matters? Like, is it actually dollars or is it something else? Because I think it's a long-term plan, but I think Pinterest can be a part of that. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, I appreciate your support, and be sure to check out the prompt that I have made just for you. And if you have questions about using it, DM me. I would love to chat and see if I can help you in any other way. We'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.